Where are home prices headed in 2022? In this video, I'll be reviewing 7 market forecasts by many of the industry's leading companies and researchers. The forecasts range anywhere from another incredible year with massive price appreciation, all the way down to a slight decrease in home values by the end of the year. Please keep in mind that these are national price forecasts and local markets can vary drastically. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, please feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. You can find all of my contact information in the description below. I'm happy to answer all of your questions and help you determine if this is the right time for you to make a move. We're going to start with the most optimistic forecasts and then work our way down to the most bearish. Starting with Zillow, they recently forecasted home prices would rise 13.6% from October 2021 through October 2022. Zillow's forecasting ability is a little bit questionable at this point after the recent failure of their Zillow Offers program. They attempted to enter the home flipping space and essentially overpaid on a lot of their home acquisitions and ended up selling them for a massive loss. With that being said, Zillow is still a massive company in the space, and I'm sure they have a lot of really great data that they can put into their forecasting models. Next up, we have Goldman Sachs, which is also very bullish on the housing market. On October 11th, they released a forecast in which they predicted home prices would rise 16% by the end of 2022. So keep in mind their forecast includes several months at the end of 2021, but this is still an extremely bullish model where most of the price appreciation is likely to occur in 2022. Both of these forecasts would both be a very slight slowdown from 2021, but they would still beat the historical average by about 3 times. Fortune estimates that the average price appreciation since 1980 is about 4.6% a year. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac recently released very similar price forecasts for 2022. Fannie Mae is expecting price growth of 7.9%, while Freddie Mac is expecting an increase of 7%. Both entities are expecting interest rates to increase slightly, which is part of the reason they're expecting home price growth to slow, but at the same time they're expecting buyer demand to remain strong. The chief economist at Fannie Mae added that they're expecting the severe shortage of homes to be the primary driver in the price appreciation. Freddie Mac is anticipating an expected price growth of 16.9% in 2021. So these forecasts are a considerable slowdown, but it's still something that homeowners can get excited about if they're thinking about selling their home in the near future. Next up, we have Redfin and CoreLogic. Redfin has some interesting wording in their forecast, which I believe leaves a little bit of room for interpretation. They state that they expect price growth to slow to 3% by the end of the year, but they don't specify whether that's a year-over-year change or a month-over-month change. Based on what I'm reading, it looks like they're simply expecting price growth to slow to 3%, but the total price growth could be more than that by the end of the year. They state that they're expecting home buyers to rush into the market in the early stages of 2022 to take advantage of low interest rates before they increase too far. CoreLogic has a very minimal price growth forecast for 2022. They state they're expecting home prices to rise by only 1.9% from September of 2021 through September of 2022. If that's the case, it would be well below the historical average of 4.6% since 1980 and a very drastic slowdown from last year. The last forecast we're going to cover is from the Mortgage Bankers Association. They are predicting the median priced home will decrease by 2.5% from the fourth quarter of 2021 to the fourth quarter of 2022. The primary difference in their model compared to the other ones we covered are the interest rates that they're expecting. The Mortgage Bankers Association is expecting an average interest rate of 4% by the end of 2022, which is much higher than what the other models are forecasting. Higher interest rates makes purchasing a home much more expensive and has a big impact on a buyer's purchasing power. Overall, a drop of 2.5% is certainly not a positive outlook on the housing market, but it is still pretty far away from a housing market crash. As you can see, there is an extremely wide range of home price forecasts moving into next year, and no real general consensus on where the market is headed. The good news is most models are predicting a home price increase as opposed to a housing market decline. Interest rates are most likely going to be the determining factor of how well the market performs next year. If the Federal Reserve decides to start hiking interest rates aggressively to fight high inflation, then one of these forecasts on the lower end of the spectrum is more likely to be correct. On the other hand, if interest rates stay at their historically low levels, we could have another phenomenal year in the housing market. If you'd like to learn more about any of these housing market forecasts, please feel free to let me know, and I can send you copies of the articles or links to the website so you can read them for yourself. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home and you have a few questions or you want to get started today, please feel free to call, text, or email me anytime. I'm more than happy to let you know what I can do to help.